Lastly, front running. So front running is very interesting because front running happens in trading as well anyway. What front running does is that I'm running and you want to win me, so you run faster and you go in front of me. That's the idea of front running. How does it work in trade? So one of these different things, as I mentioned, in exchange is that you have your automated market makers or decentralized exchange. So these are new kind of concepts, new kind of mechanisms in the financial market, in the decentralized financial market. And that's very interesting and very cool. And so how front running works is that because in AMMs or decentralized exchanges, the prices of goods are not always fixed, and they're really dependent on the volume available, the liquidity available. And so what front running does is that if, let's say, I'm going to place a very big trade, someone knows that because, with all transparency, you can always see a trade being placed. Then what I could do is to pay a bit more gas fees, so that when you pay more gas fees, so let's say these are two things to be approved, right? 1 and 2. I'll use green. Let's say these are two things to be approved, 1 and 2. And now the probability of them being approved depends on a few things, and one of them will be your fees payable. So how does it work? If, let's say, block number 1 or transaction number 1 is a lot of money, and block number 2 is just a little bit of money, and they know that I can be earning a lot more, or I can be getting a lot more if I trade before you, then I will pay more fees so that my block will be ahead of yours, and I'll be approved first. And when I am approved first, then I will get a bit more money out of it, or more benefits out of the trade, or more profits out of the trade. So this is the whole idea of front running. And you could calculate this, and this becomes a risk, especially if you are an active trader, because someone can spend a bit more fees and trade ahead of you so that they can be getting the profits instead of you getting the profits. So that's one of the dangers, that's one of the risks, and there's something to think about when you are in DeFi. Front running is not exactly new, it's everywhere anyway, so it's about now that there's more information transparency, how do you deal with that?